Hi, this is Raven Starsparkles again for the next video for learning to play and maximize your enjoyment from the Shroud of the Avatar. Today we are in the beautiful aquarium room in the Newcastle Atos near Solace Bridge talking about decks. Combat decks to be more specific. Combat decks are one of the primary things that separate SOTA from other MMOs. It's like having a deck of combat playing cards that come up randomly, allowing for some powerful deck building options. However, you can also make decks that don't change for a more normal experience, or even use a combination of the two. You can access the deck menu by pressing the Y key or by using the stained glass window in the upper right menu area. This is where your available decks are listed. It is also where you can create new decks, modify or copy existing decks, or delete ones you no longer need using the gear icon beside each. Okay, let's take a look at a deck. This is the deck management screen. Starting in the top left, this checkbox simply hides or reveals available glyphs or potions. You can give your decks a specific name using the deck name box. Now we have a deck called Raven's Mane. There are two tabs in the left panel. One shows the available glyphs and the other shows combos. Combos are completely new abilities or spells that are created by combining glyphs. We currently have the glyphs to make quadruple slash by combining thrust with double slash. As you see, we lack the second glyph on several, but have a combo option for hamstring as well, by combining trip with rend. I will demonstrate combos later in the video. Let's copy this deck so I don't mess it up. To add a glyph to a deck, just click it to add it to the glyph reserve side. Or drag it to a slot in the bar setup area. Glyphs can be dragged, dropped to change slots. As you see, these glyphs are bar slotted but are not showing in the reserve side. Looking at their quantity, we see 1 is assigned though. This means the bar slot is at a power of 1 out of 3 potential. The potential power is based on your skill level and if specialized. This is a good time to talk about charging glyphs. Locked glyphs can be charged by left-clicking and holding down on them. The amount they can be charged is limited to the number of their additional power levels you have placed in the right panel. It is not as simple as just putting max levels for a glyph in the reserve side though, as I will demonstrate in a second. Our Stone Fist has 1 power level and when activated will take its full reg charge before being ready again. However, Dodge has 2 levels, so it will charge to 2 and can also be reused at power 1 much quicker. Gust has 3. Double Slash has all 4. While Heal is a special case, and has a power of 4, but has only 1 power slotted and none in reserve. This means it can be charged to level 4, but can also be cast at power 1 very quickly 4 times. As you see, you have lots of flexibility even with locked decks, which we will cover now. Let's add a couple more skill and spell glyphs. As you see, they are locking into the slots I drop them in. These are considered locked slots. We now have a fully locked deck. These glyphs will always be where we put them when the deck is in use. With locked decks we can ignore the Slugs warning, which I will cover in a bit. When we enter combat mode, our deck is set just like me made it. we will cover the last part of the deck menu before tackling locks and open slots in more detail. The Use Current Equipment button. This allows you to store your current outfit and gear into a deck. It is great for quickly changing from mage build to fighter build, or simply used as a clothing change, which is my favorite part. Now we will discuss slugs. If you are using open slots, which means you don't have all glyph slots on the hotbar as locked, and you don't have enough glyph power levels in the right panel, then slugs, or blank cards, will populate your deck. Slugs block open slots when they come up and must be right-clicked to remove. Since we have only one glyph active, it will take a while for it to be drawn. To defeat slugs, simply make sure you have enough glyphs in the right panel when using decks with open slots. Now let me demonstrate a totally open deck. Each card, aka glyph, will fill a random slot when drawn. They can be right-clicked to be thrown back into the draw pile, used, or dragged onto their other selves to increase their power and reduce their cost and focus when used. Each glyph represents one identical power level of the skill or spell represented, and you can stack them as high as your current power level of that skill or spell allows. As you stack, their decay timer is slowed, keeping the glyph available longer. But they will eventually decay. Skills are available to stew the current decay for a while, wipe glyphs quickly, and other deck management powers. Now I will demonstrate building one of our available combos, quadruple slash. We just need to drag a thrust glyph onto a double slash glyph, or vice versa. We can do this as many times as we have glyphs, and even stack comboed glyphs. There we have made a quadruple slash. It's just that easy. As I said earlier, you can mix and match locked slots with open slots in your deck. This keeps glyphs you always need handy, available when needed. Their power level is set by number of their powers levels, aka quantity, of glyphs put in the right panel. The open slots are still at 1 unit of power until stacked, like normal open slots. If you put a glyph into an open slot in the deck management screen and don't lock it, you create a preference for that slot, and glyphs of that kind will try and fill that slot when available. They will also still fill other open slots. This is another way to organize cards into slots without locking them. However, it may take a while for the glyph you need to come back to the top spot of the deck to be drawn and slotted. Also, since the placed glyphs are not locked, but open, they can be dragged onto other glyphs to increase power, and vice versa. More than one glyph can be stacked into an open slot as well. This helps you preferentiate slots for certain card types. Keep in mind though, unused cards in that slot will block other stacked ones from appearing in that slot, but they may still appear in other open slots that aren't maxed with 7 glyphs. We have only really scratched the surface of the power behind decks, and we did not cover in detail the available skills that assist you in managing the decks and glyphs during combat. This video is more of an introduction, and I recommend seeking out more advanced guides on the forums or your favorite video platforms. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you click the notification bell, you will be alerted when I post another video.